It's a day in the ring boxing. What it is, what it do, boxing fans. Let's talk about this fight weekend wrap up. Virgil Ortiz versus Lawson on the zone. The undercard, Barroso versus Davies. And we're gonna talk about Tony Weeks' fight stoppage. I think it was an early fight stoppage. Is Tony Weeks done? Is he done? But he still got something left in him. Barroso. Talk to me. Barroso, the ancient warrior. This guy looks like he's 57 out here putting in that work. Got him out of the cave and threw him in the ring. And he's packing a punch. Ancient warrior, brick hands. Davies just wasn't ready for the intensity of the warrior vet. And definitely wasn't ready for those brick hands. Caught him clean, and he got up. But Barroso clipped him again. You can see Davies wasn't there. He was out of it. Ref gave him a standing count, but called it a wrap. Barroso with the win in first round. And Rolly was sitting there ringside catching the fight. Remember, Rolly and Barroso had an interesting fight. Rolly, like I told y'all, he hit hard, but he ain't do all that to me. Rolly got a win over Barroso. Now Barroso in the mix at 140. What about Barroso, Matias? You got a lot of names out there, a lot of matchups at 140. 140 is loaded with talent. Loaded with talent and loaded with talent with some matchups that I want to see. Like I just said, Barroso and Matias might be a good matchup. Ryan just got done fighting Barroso Ryan. Right? A lot of these guys got fights out there. Now, we're not going to say that Barroso might not get a shot at none of these guys. He might get that stigma of oh, the hard hitter, and people might want to avoid him. But who else is out there? You got Lopez out there. You just had Regis just go out there, lose to Haney. Haney's probably going to move up in weight division to 147. You got Barroso out there. Barroso can get out there and get a good fight with a couple of these guys. Not Regis and Barroso. Prograis and Barroso. Prograis coming off a loss. Barroso just coming off a win. You know, you still got Rolly out there. Rolly got a belt. And what can Barroso really be? Right? We've seen guys like this come out of nowhere before. Maidana. We had Maidana come out of nowhere. Crack a couple guys, right? Make a name for himself because it was hard hitting punches. And Maidana got some good fights. Maidana went on to fight Mayweather. But Maidana fought some guys in his career. You got Matisse. Matisse was another guy came out of nowhere. Got some good wins against some good names out there. Mayorga. Mayorga smoking cigarettes and hanging out and drinking beer. Came out of nowhere, right? Fought some guys. Fought Mosley even though later in the career. But he had some good names. He had some good names, right? Don King guy. But we've seen guys like this come out of nowhere. So what can Barroso be? Can Barroso be one of those guys? Come out of nowhere. Had two good fights. One good fight with Rolly, one clean first round knockout with Davies. What can he be going forward? Can he get some of these guys in a ring? Can he get an upset? Can he get a real upset? Davies was a UK guy, I guess fairly unknown. He had two losses, but still he got him out of there. Davies was making a name for himself up the rankings. Barroso got him out of there. So I mean, what else? What else has Barroso got out of sleeve? Huh? What does the ancient warrior? What else does he have? If I'm matchmaking, I'm putting Barroso in there with some straightforward coming guys. Put him in there with a couple. Let's see some slugfest. Put him in there with a couple of fighters. Going to get in there and bang it out. And Barroso, see what Barroso bringing out, just straight bang out. I don't think nobody wants to see Barroso fan anyone who's really going to go in there and boxing. A straight boxing match. Barroso might get cleaned out. But a straight slug, we're going to go ahead and swing in the middle of the ring, and that's his thing. And he's going to come in there, he's probably going to come in there every single fight, and he's going to try to make it a slugfest. 40-year-old guy, he's going to come in right in, and he's just going to, let's just slug it out and see what happens. I probably got a good 4 to 6 rounds in me. Well, I don't know. We're going to have to see. I think he's just coming in there and just try to take your head off. That's his technique. That's what he's training for. Barroso, the ancient warrior. We're going to see. We're going to have to see. A day in the ring boxing, and he's back. Virgil Ortiz Jr. is back at 154. Virgil's been out for quite a while. Been out for 17 months. But before Virgil went out, Virgil was on a tear, tearing up the 147 division. Looked like him and Boots was going to be on a collision course with each other. Now remember, man, that division was wide open at one point in time. Now you had Arrow at the top, but you had a lot of these old guys getting out of there. Keith Thurman was getting out of there. Sean Porter was getting out of there. Danny Swift Garcia was getting out of there. It was just lack of fights between any of those guys. Terrence Crawford had a belt. Arrow had a belt. And those belts were being held hostage for a while. And in a couple years, you've seen Boots Ennis step up. You've seen Virgil Ortiz step up. Now, Virgil was just running through guys, putting in pain, knockout machine, just murdering guys. You know? No one wanted to give him a shot either. He was just tearing guys up. It's good to see him back against Lawson, making his return at 154. Now, Virgil looked good. Looked good. Looked aggressive. You know? Went for him, took him out. Lawson was just a bad. It was just. He didn't look like he wanted to fight. You know, well, he wanted to run around. I mean, even when he had him in the corner right before the stoppage, Virgil just giving it to him, and Lawson just had his hands up. He just looked like he just was out of it. He didn't want to fight. He didn't come to fight. But Virgil looked good. He was aggressive. He still kept for him, and fight got stopped. It's good to see him back. Virgil is one of those guys that I see could be a nice talent. He don't get a title real soon. He can tear some guys up. At 154, what can he do? What can he do? What about Virgil and Zoo at 154? Zoo got the 154 title, WBO. Why not that? Virgil coming off that level. He got that. That might be a good one. Zoo's one of those guys too that he was in that division. He had the one title. The other title was by Charlo, being held by Charlo. But what's going to happen with that now? You got Zoo out there. Ortiz down is in that division. I would see Ortiz probably want to fight, Zoo for Charlo or anybody in that division. You know? Maybe he just, who knows what he wants to do. Him and Zoo might be a good one. It might be a banger. Them two guys getting in the ring, getting in. That might be a classic. That could be a good one right there. Wouldn't mind seeing that. Let's get another one in at 154. Get some rounds under his belt. It was a quick fight at 154. He's been out for 17 months. Kid's been out for 17 months. Come back, first round stoppage. All right. I think he needs some time. Come back, get another fight in. Maybe even two. Right. Let's see what he can do at 154. It's been a while. Get that real ring rust off of there. What ring rust did he get off in his first round? Really? After that time off. And the kid's still young. Let him come back in there, get 154, another fight, and then let's see what he can do. Zoo, after that, Charlo, see what Charlo wants to do if he's going to stay. Or he's going to go back up after the loss of Canelo. Crawford. Is Crawford going to give up 147 and go up to 154? Errol Spence, is he done at 147, going to 154? So it's going to be a lot of fights out there. We just got to be ready for it. Is Virgil going to be in the mix? Can he get a title out of there? Can he get a run, a shot at some of these guys? And we see Virgil at 154 get a shot at some of these guys that he didn't get a chance to fight at 147. Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Danny Garcia, Thurman was out there. Can he get a fight at some of these guys that he can't see at 147? Can he see him at 154? That's a good question. And I feel like I need to see a little bit more from him. A couple more fights. The kid's a beast. A couple more fights on his belt, 154. And he can possibly tear that division up. He can be the next guy at that division at 154. If he stays healthy. The kid looks like he got his boxing skills right. Stays in the ring. Stays active. Kids got a shot. A day in the ring boxing. All right, now Tony Weeks in a stoppage. The first round stoppage in the Ortiz Lawson fight. Everybody saying it was a bad stoppage. Tony Weeks is done. Shouldn't be a ref anymore. He's past his prime. Weeks has been around for a while. Weeks has been in some slugfests, some bloodbaths. There's a picture right now on the internet with him with his blood all over his shirt. All right. He was part of the Castillo Corrales battle. All right. Is he done? Was it a bad stoppage? Did he really have to explain himself? The ref is there to protect the fighter. And we don't know what happened and what happened behind the scenes. Report coming out that Tony Weeks says that prior to the fight, they did a brain scan on him. That's Lawson. So they did a brain scan on him. And it came up that he had an aneurysm. They did a test again. And it came up again. But yet another doctor was brought in. And examination and he tested negative. Huh. It's crazy. So he knew that. Still went on to fight. That should have been a question. That should have been another question that should have been asked. That might need to be investigated and looked up. But did he fight? Did he stop the fight early? Lawson was unresponsive. He wasn't doing nothing. He was in the corner taking punches. And if Weeks knew that, and he seen him not wanting to fight or not wanting to exchange, just standing there taking punches, why not stop the fight? The kid was going to take a punch and go, and it's over. So if he knew that, he was there to protect the fighter. And just anyway, in general, a referee seeing the guy taking punches in the corner, not willing to exchange, not throwing punches back. A lot of the punches weren't getting through, but was he throwing back? Did we see something in the ring that we don't know about in his eyes? Or was it all that he just knew about the scan and the different doctors right before the fight? I like Tony. Tony's an old school ref. He's one of those guys that go in there and let them guys bang it out. I would like to see Tony stick around. There's not a lot of refs out there that let these guys really go ahead and fight. You know, sometimes we watch these boxing matches and you see the referee more than the fighters, constantly putting themselves in a fight. Weeks is one of them guys stay back, let these guys rock out there. So I think Tony stick around. Was it a bad stoppage? It's a million bad stoppages. It's a million bad decisions in boxing. But if it's true behind the scenes of these reports, then I think he did the right thing because he's there to protect the fighter. But Tony, I hope to see you back around and some more of these fights. Let's see you in another classic bloodbath battle and see how everyone turns around and be like, what a great fight that was. Referees control a lot of the fights, man. They control a lot of the ways it goes. Overall, good fight card in the zone. The comeback of Ortiz, the drama with the fight stoppage with Lawson there at the end with Weeks. Barroso, the ancient warrior, surprising people at 40. But overall, good card. And looking forward to 2024. And hopefully these guys can get in here and cross promote and see a lot of these young cannons out here. Go ahead and get it in. And thanks for tuning in to Day in the Ring Boxing. Hit the like, leave a comment, subscribe.